Hi everyone, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe, and I am live to take your immigration questions right now. I like to close the night out with you and basically just answer your questions and prioritize you and your questions. So go ahead and put those questions in the comments right now while I am here. I'm usually here for about half an hour. So we're on limited time. I want to see your questions. So while your questions come in, I'm going to formally introduce myself. I'm U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I help clients to get their green cards, get their visa, get their status in the United States. So if you are going through the process, you are thinking about going through the process, then you should be here asking your questions. Hi there, Theodore. It's nice to see you and thanks for joining in. So now, if you would like to learn more about me, you can go to the link in my bio. It will take you to the firm's website at ST Law Office, where you can read the bio about the attorney as well as contact the firm. Now I'm doing the live. It's after hours. Hi there, wifey Renee. It's nice to see you. Okmote. Hi there. I'm married for 6 years and my ex-wife said she won't let me file for citizenship. So she put in, she, after consultation, any other payment I should pay. So Heart of Gold. Really, it depends on what type of relationship we should form afterwards, or what type of attorney-client relationship we're going to form after the consultation. So if you're going to hire me to, represent you on your matter, your particular matter during the consultation, we determine that you do qualify, then that is where I will tell you my fee based on the particular issue that I'll be representing you on. So that's where additional fees could apply. But for the consultation and to be able to get the advice that you need to understand, to be able to move forward, then that would be the only fee that you'd have to pay. Zari, mommy, if you overstay and get married, will it affect getting your citizenship? So it could, because only certain individuals can overstay and still get the green card. So if you're the spouse of a U.S. citizen and you overstay your visa, that is one way where you could possibly stay in the United States and get your green card. However, if you are out of status and you are married to a green card holder, it's very unlikely, unless you're applying for the green card based on mistreatment, that you will qualify to stay in the United States. You would have to apply for a waiver and then complete the green card process in your home country. Now, Akmate, I noticed you said you're married to you've been married for 6 years, and my ex-wife said she won't let me file for citizenship. I didn't see the rest of the question, so I don't know what that is. But if you are married for 6 years currently, and the person that you're married to, you are already a green card holder, you already have your 10-year green card, it's very unlikely that your ex-wife would be able to do anything to prevent you from getting citizenship. I mean, she would have to go through great lengths to be able to sabotage your efforts at citizenship. But go ahead and put your question, finish up your question so I can answer it accurately. So if you overstay and get married, so I answered that. Hi, how long is the visa process to get a U.S. visa to visit the States if you are married to a U.S. citizen? So getting a visa, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, so being married to a U.S. citizen may not qualify you for a visa. So just keep that in mind going in. What you need to prove if you are going in for a visitor's visa is that you have to show strong ties to your home country, especially in the case that you're married to a U.S. citizen, because what they want to see is what's going to get you back home, what's going to keep you from staying in the United States. And having a U.S. citizen spouse it actually is a big temptation a big incentive to stay in the United States. So you will need to show evidence that you have strong ties to your home country that will make you return home. And those are going to be property, strong commitments like other family members, a business, employment, debt. So you will need to, hi there, Shalika. It's nice to see you here. Thank you for saying hi. And if you have any other questions, feel free. Christine XX, what can be done for my cousin after someone had sent in fake reports on her to the embassy? So in a case like that, it really depends on what those accusations were, how strong was the evidence in order to address those issues. Because if fake reports were sent in on her and she was charged with misrepresentation, or she's now inadmissible, or her visa was revoked, then it would take first to figure out where the problem is, where the false accusations, and then to prove it to the embassy, to be able to rectify the situation. But how you approach this is really going to depend on the exact facts. Jamdong 96, the consultation is $150 for up to an hour. Now, I always say on here, it is worth it. And by the time my clients and potential clients have completed the consultation, they are very happy. The reason being is sometimes they come in with certain misconceptions, or they're about to make a mistake, and then after getting the full legal advice based on their circumstances, they walk away fully informed, knowing exactly what they have to do, knowing their rights. And so it's well worth it, because it can prevent you from making detrimental mistakes during the immigration process. So give us a call, and my number is plastered all over my videos, so you can call that phone number. Now, it's after hours, so the scheduling coordinator works between 8:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. If you call outside of those hours, you're going to get an after hours receptionist who will take good care of you, take your name, your information, but the scheduling coordinator is the person who will call you, schedule you, and confirm you for the appointment. So you Yoit Siran B. Okay. So I'm bad at names, but what will happen if I don't respond back to USCIS request for documents in brother sister filing? So that could possibly lead to a denial. If you fail to reply to a request for evidence, which usually when they're requesting additional documents or more information, it's usually through a request for evidence. Usually this is your last chance to submit the information they need to make a decision. And so if you don't reply to it and they feel like they absolutely need the decision to make, they need the information to make a decision, they could deny the application altogether. If it's past the deadline and you still did not submit the information they requested. So Little Wicked 16, if my father is married overseas and left my mom in Jamaica while they were married for 15 years, let's see. So it seems like, can I get filed for? So your father can file for you if you are unmarried and you're over 21 or under 21, or if he's a U.S. citizen. So yes, it's still possible for your father to file for you. Wifey Renee 21, how long after getting your green card can you start filing for your wife and stepchildren? Right away. You can file for your spouse right away after becoming a permanent resident. So if you overstay and are married and you're married to a U.S. citizen, how long does it take for you to get a green card? So I would say prepare for as little as 9 months to as long as 2 years. Heart of Gold 06. I need to apply for a visa and after consultation fee, is there any other payment? So if you choose to retain me to help you with the visa application, yes, there will be an additional fee, and it depends on what will be required. So we need to talk about that in the consultation. So I'm just going through the questions. So hang tight for those of you who are asking questions. I'm going through very quickly. So hang tight. So Jamdong 96. Yes, the staff at ST Law Office, they speak Spanish. So we do have translators available, and we have Spanish speakers who do answer the phones and schedule the consultations. And if you need a Spanish speaker during the consultation, our staff is available to translate as well. So my dad lives in the USA. He has a green card. I live in Jamaica. Am I qualified for a green card? So green card holders can sponsor their sons or daughters who are 21 and up and unmarried, or who are under 21 and unmarried. The children just have to be unmarried. Dr. Mia Witter, hello. So hello, I'm new. So hi there, Mia Witter. I have a question. Can my mom file for both my husband and I? If your mom is a US citizen, then your mom can file for you and your husband. But keep in mind that it is not a quick solution, especially if you're here in the United States, because it takes about 12 years if you're a married son or daughter of a US citizen. If your mother is a green card holder, then she will not be able to sponsor you if you're married. What does E2 mean? So E2 is, it's in reference to a type of treaty between the United States and certain countries to be able to let the citizens of those countries come to the United States to expand or start their business. And so that's what's called the E2 Treaty Investor Visa. Hi, I have a different birth certificate name from my passport. What can I do? You'll need to get that corrected. So you'll need to make the correction. If it's in your passport, you'll need to apply to get that corrected. If the error is in your birth certificate, you'll need to contact the registrar, or the agency that's in charge of the birth certificates and apply to get it corrected. Do you handle deportation cases? Absolutely, I do. I handle deportation defense cases all over the country. But the first thing you'll need to do is schedule a consultation, and let's look at your issue and come up with a game plan for your defense. Call her tweet. How long is the process to get a US visiting visa? So it depends on which embassies are open and functioning. COVID has thrown everything out of whack, and so some countries are very limited right now. Some embassies are not processing US visitors visas at all. However, if the embassy is, it could take as little as 4 weeks or longer, just depending on how backlogged they are and how many appointments they have scheduled. So Jamdong 96, I believe I answered your question, and we have staff that are Spanish speakers and ready to assist. My father got married overseas while he was married with my mom in Jamaica, but was 14 years ago. Okay, so in that case, it is a more complicated issue. If your dad got married while he was married to your mom, then that could actually disqualify him from obtaining the green card, because you're not supposed to be in multiple relationships at the same time, multiple marriages at the same time. And so that is going to be a more complex case. And so definitely schedule a consultation. But it could be spell problems for not only you as an obstruction to getting the green card, but your father. Do you handle employment-based sponsorship? Absolutely, yes, I do. So Dr. Mia Witter, I did answer the question. If your mom is a U.S. citizen, she can file for both you and your husband. If not, then she would have to. So Shelly T, the consultation really is worth it. Oh, thank you so much for saying that, Shelly T. I'm grateful that you have said that on here, and it is worth it because it makes you walk away with making an informed decision, so you don't make any mistakes, that you understand what you're getting into with whatever, you know your options, you know your rights, you know what you're in for, you know what's required, and you can walk away with me as your attorney if necessary. Theodore 1, my dad lives in the U.S. He has a green card. Am I qualified for a green card? If you're unmarried, Theodore, then your dad can apply for you. But keep in mind that if you've overstayed, you will need to possibly go back to your country. But before you leave, you'd have to apply for a waiver. So schedule a consultation and let's talk more about this. Kevin 1 Vibe 17, if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you get denied because you didn't get a request for evidence, then in that case, this is a lot more complex. I'd want to know what is at the root of the denial. Why didn't you reply to the request for evidence? And all the circumstances associated with your case. Schedule a consultation. It may be as simple as reapplying with better evidence this time, and to do it right, to rectify whatever mistake was made, or it may involve something else. But to understand that and to know what your options are, schedule a consultation. Hi there, Sharon J. Singh. It's nice to see you. Let's see. So I'm going to hang tight for those of you who have questions pending. I'm getting to your questions as fast as I can. Someone had reported her claiming she'll overstay if she got a visa. So in a case like that, it really is it would have to involve getting to the root of the problem to figure out the solution. So tell your friend to schedule a consultation, because it's hard to give a solution with such general information. Arij Tara. I applied for citizenship for October 2020, only I wait. So if you applied in October 2020 and you're still waiting, it may be wherever is processing your application. Just hang tight, check on your case, and make sure that they are not requiring anything from you, or they're not requesting anything from you. Jamdung 96, I already filed for my wife. 1119 Dominican Republic, I have a lawyer, but I don't feel my lawyer. So it is always within your rights to change your lawyer and to get second opinion. So while under the rules of professional responsibility, I cannot solicit somebody who is already being represented. I can tell you that it is well within your rights to, recognize that there are issues with your lawyer and, make decisions based on your perception of your lawyer. And you can always try to talk it out with your lawyer. Maybe your lawyer would be able to resolve any issues that you're having. Call her, tweet. To be more specific, how long is process to get a U.S. visiting visa if you're from Jamaica? So now in this case, it just depends on what's going on at the U.S. Embassy and how many appointments they have, if they're even processing tourist visas at this time. So a Nigeria, it's $150 for up to an hour. We talk, we go through your options, I provide advice, and you can walk away with me as your attorney. Barbie Davis 365. My daughter came, she got married almost 10 years ago. Her husband refused to file for her. Please have your daughter give me a call, schedule a consultation, because if he refused to file for her, I need to get to the root of that. Because in any case, if he refused to file for her, that is indicating to me that there was some form of mistreatment, some form of manipulation. And if that was the case, then she could possibly qualify for VAWA. Now, if she's already remarried, then that would disqualify her from still applying for the VAWA. Also, if she is divorced and she's been divorced for more than 2 years, that would also disqualify her. But if she's neither, so she's neither divorced and she hasn't divorced him, then in this case, she could possibly qualify for VAWA if he's a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident. So tell your daughter to get in touch with me, schedule a consultation, and let's go through her options. Nikki Rebel, thank you for that. I am glad that this is informative, and that's exactly why I do this. So if you file for divorce while doing immigration paperwork, what happened to the person? And it depends on what process the person is going through. Divorce may or may not affect the situation. For example, if the person is going through the VAWA process, divorce may not affect the case. However, if they're going through a marriage-based green card, then it could affect whether they get approved. So downtown, Peter Brown, Canadian with criminal record, best way to avoid problems at the border. It depends on what the criminal record is. When it comes on to criminal issues, it's so important to get legal advice, because criminal issues really comes down to the finest detail, the facts, the statute, the law that's related to the criminal conviction. And so it's important before you submit any applications or before you even cross the border that you make sure you get a consultation to figure out if it is rendering you inadmissible, if you'll need a waiver, or if it won't affect you, or what will you need to take with you to the border. C. Charlie, getting married, but due to discrimination, LGBTQ, not much pics or fam invites. Is that an issue? So I understand, definitely I understand your situation, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an issue, but what you have to do is you have to shore up your other evidence. For example, if you got married to your spouse, you would need to show travel receipts. You'll need to show if you've exchanged money. For example, if your spouse is living in another country, that you sent money to them, for example. Or if you're living together, that you have a joint lease, you have joint property, that you can show that you live your daily routines together. So you just have to make sure that you shore up your other evidence to make up for the lack of pictures with friends, or at the wedding, friends and family, or just family. Kenika Walker, hi, I'm here. How do I go about the E2? So in the case that you're already here and you're out of status, then that may be a little more complex. What the E2, really what you have to show is that you are a citizen of an E2 country, such as Trinidad, Jamaica, Grenada. These are just examples. They're not an exclusive list. And that you have substantial capital, money, to be able to run that successful business in the United States. So when we talk about substantial capital, it doesn't necessarily have to be millions of dollars, but the amount of money that you have you have to show that it is sufficient to run that type of business. So for example, if you have $100,000 US, that could possibly be enough for the type of business that you want to start. So those are the important requirements that you have to meet. Onika, if you file for divorce while doing, it depends on what kind of application you're going through, Onika, and I wouldn't be able to tell you what will happen, how the divorce will affect your situation, unless I know exactly what your situation is. How do you go about getting the E2 visa? So Akila, you will need to be the citizen of an E2 country, and then you have to show that you have substantial investment that you're currently or that you have invested in the business that you're going to start in the United States. Substantial capital doesn't mean you necessarily mean $1 million, but it means that it's enough money to run a successful business. Kevin 1 Vibe 17. If you request for a reopening of your case based upon denial, how long should you wait for a response? So it depends on where you're asking for it to be reopened, what the situation is, and how backlogged they are. So it all depends. Doctor, I'm in Jamaica, so hopefully it will be easier. Both my husband and I are here. So yes, so if you're both in Jamaica, you would go through the consular processing. And your mom, you can expect a 12-year process. I don't know how far in the process you are, though. Wonder Woman 1513. Can my fiance fix if he has a 1-year offense? So it depends on what the offense is. When it comes down to criminal issues, it's hard for me to be able to tell you. It could affect him. It could disqualify him from, getting an immigration benefit. It depends on the facts and what's involved in the case. Hi, can I file if my name on my birth certificate is different from my passport? So it is a possibility that you can, but you would have to show sufficient evidence that you are who you say you are, and provide information about why there's a discrepancy. What my best advice is also to make that correction. If you don't have a sufficient explanation, if it was just an error, then make the correction. So Akila, David, I already answered that about the E2. Candy Dancer 2010. How much for applying for citizenship is $725. Marcel Bless, thanks for the follow. Kevin, Vibe 17. That looks incomplete. Keon 501, where's your office? So I'm in Boca Raton, Florida. I also have a meeting location in Fort Lauderdale. That's downtown Fort Lauderdale. But keep in mind that I represent clients all over the country, all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you are, I can represent you. I do phone and video consultations for those who cannot see me in person. Magical White Chocolate, thanks for the follow. So keep those questions coming while I am here, because I am here to answer your immigration questions. So I see some more questions here. Let me just scroll through to get to those, and hang tight everyone while I go through the questions. So Keon 501, I am from Jamaica. So my grandmother has a green card and I want to help her to get her citizenship. Where do I start? So, I don't know what your grandmother's situation is, so it would be hard for me to tell you where to start. But usually there is a way to apply online using the N400 form for citizenship. As far as your grandmother's qualifications go, you can always schedule a consultation with me to go through and make sure that she does qualify. Also, if you go to uscis.gov and you go to the forms, an N400 form, there is the form there that can give you a checklist to see if your grandmother qualifies. But it's always best to get your legal advice from an attorney like myself. So Kevin 1 Vibe 17, I live in Miami. I was denied based on abandonment for a request I didn't receive from them. So in the case of the denial, I would want to explore more about that request for evidence. So schedule a consultation and we can go through your options from there. Trishan Gordon, how long does it take to get certificate of citizenship? It depends on where you are in the process. So it could take a couple weeks. Watching from the Bahamas. Well, it's nice to see you and thanks for tuning in. Ghost the Barber, thanks for the follow. Do you do online consultations? Absolutely. I represent clients all over the country, and so one of the best ways for me to connect with my clients is through go-to meetings or Zoom, which is the common one right now, or by phone. So how can you help one leave his or her country from Africa? I need a way. Let me know the money needed for processing. So the first thing that you need to do is schedule a consultation to make sure that you qualify for an immigration benefit in the United States. So you'll have to qualify either through an employer or through family, or even through the asylum process if you're being persecuted in your home country. Asked by Jamdong, will the consultation fee go towards the legal fee? So no, the consultation is separate from the fee for representation. Andy Paulina 89, waiver approval. So let's see. I am waiting on my approval, but I want to get divorced. My husband is a citizen. Can I do that? And it's a waiver approval. So Andy Paulina, I cannot tell you what to do because getting a divorce could very well affect your process. If you want to get divorced from your spouse because your spouse is mistreating you, is being abusive, then there's a way to apply for the green card on your own, but you basically have to start the application, which if you are going through this, it is worth applying on your own rather than putting up with any kind of mistreatment or abuse. You can always give me a call, schedule a consultation, and I can tell you the consequences, the immigration consequences related to the divorce, and possibly the other ways you could qualify. Monique Ramotar, do you send your expired work permit when applying for a renewal? So generally speaking, when you're applying for a renewal, you do have to attach your previous worker's permit. Keep in mind though that this is general information and this is not specific legal advice because I don't know what your particular situation is. I don't know what the basis of the renewal is or whether you qualify. So Nikki Williams, 33, how can I start the process for my husband? So Nikki, the first thing is to figure out whether you're a US citizen or a green card holder. And then once we figure that out, what is the status of your spouse? Whether your spouse is out of status, where is your spouse? Is your spouse in another country or here? And then I can advise you as to what the best process is for you. You can schedule a consultation where we can dig really deep, figure out what the best options are for you. Kevin One Vibe 17, I asked you so many questions and you don't even look at one of mine. That is not true, Kevin. I've answered your question multiple times. You probably missed them. So Asha, I am here in the USA. My I-130 is approved. Do I have to wait until my husband becomes a citizen? So if your husband is not already a citizen and you've overstayed, you will not qualify to apply for the green card while you're in the United States. The only way to do that is if your husband is a US citizen. You can apply for a waiver, and if the waiver is approved, it would allow you to leave the country and complete the green card process in your home country. However, I don't know what your husband's circumstances are, how long he has to wait until he becomes a US citizen. If you really want to get in depth and figure out a game plan for you and your husband, schedule a consultation. Hi, and Angelindra, it's nice to see you. Akila, if you've overstayed, leave and trying to get back, how's the chances to acquire a visa? So that is difficult to say. I would need to know how long you overstayed and what your circumstances are. You're welcome, call her, tweet. So Wonder Woman 1513, can my fiance fix his status if he has served a year? So it depends on what the offense was. But you know, it all depends. When it comes down to criminal issues, it's very important to schedule a consultation. Jamdong, I'm looking forward to speaking with you in a consultation. Hi there, Lisa Young. It's nice to see you. Hi and bye. Last month, my sister to you about my case. Okay, Rose. Well, it's nice. Lauren Allen 40, thanks for the follow. Nigeria, thanks for the share. Barbie Davis 365, I'm a green card holder. I have a 35-year-old married daughter. If she got a divorce, can I file for her? If she got a divorce and became unmarried, then she would qualify, yes. Is doing enough? We're still in the visa center. So that's Jamdong. So I've been married to my husband for 10 years. I still don't get the green card. So if you've been married to your husband for 10 years and he has not filed for you, he has not made any moves to get your status, schedule a consultation. And even if he has and it's been unsuccessful, schedule a consultation. Let's talk about your options, because there may be ways for you to apply on your own or to rectify the situation. If, for example, if you've been denied or there's something that's preventing you from applying. So Josie, how much for a consultation? I have a current case open with a lot of troubles coming from the embassy. So my consultation fee is $150 for up to an hour, and I'll gladly assist you. Nicole Martin 25, would I still change my birth certificate? So sorry, my dad changed his surname when I was 5, but my birth certificate didn't change for a K9 visa. Would I still change my birth certificate? So if your dad changed his surname, it wouldn't necessarily change your name unless they wish to change your name when you are 5. So it all depends. So thank you everyone for tuning in, for asking your great questions. These were all great questions. I see a few more, so I'm gonna quickly go through those. But if I do miss your question by the end of this, please, I come here every night, so please hold on to your questions, follow me, and as soon as I come live again, you can ask your questions. So Xtavia, would you come to Bradenton to join a panel on immigration? So you can go ahead and send me a personal message. I would definitely welcome joining a panel, but we can talk more about those details. Just go ahead and send me a direct message, and we can talk. Trishan Gordon, where can we schedule? So you can schedule by calling the number. If you go to the link in my bio, or if you just look at any of my videos, you will see the number. Call that number and receptionist will take good care of you at this time. We have after hours receptionist who answers the phones 24/7. The scheduling coordinator will get back in touch with you and put you on my schedule and confirm the appointment. So my mother is dead, but she started my filing. Would I qualify for a green card? So your petition would have to be approved before your mom died. So Xtavia, I'm in Florida too, so it's great to see a fellow Floridian. So Rose 86865, so you're from Haiti. Akila, can my sister who is married file for me at my age? Yes, so if your sister is a US citizen, she can file for you even if you're married. If you're being placed on child support, will that affect your citizenship application? That's a great question, Cheryl Dunkley. And what you need to do is show that if you are placed on child support, that you are paying the child support and you're complying with it, that you're taking care of the child, and you should still be fine. Dilly Beauty, thanks for the follow. Lucian, thanks for the follow. Please, how much will it cost me to come? So I'm not sure what you mean. It depends on what you're applying for. So thank you everyone for showing up and asking your questions. As always, I'm usually here around this time. So follow me, and as soon as you see me go live, hop on and ask your questions, and then I will answer. Have a good night, everyone. Bye. You're welcome, Cheryl Dunkley.